By the time this video posts, the experimental build of Alpha 21 should be alive and ready for everyone to play. Played a little bit on the streamers weekend, a little bit of a thing on YouTube, posted some kind of impression video sort of stuff, so I can now officially say I have played enough of this to know that, at least so far, I'm really enjoying what we're seeing in Alpha 21. Not saying it's perfect. I mean, honestly, it's kind of funny. There's been, so many things. So the Fun Pimps set up a Discord server for the streamers weekend, and a lot of really good conversation on there among various content creators. And it's funny, I seem to be the lone person who feels like it runs worse in Alpha 21 than it did with Alpha 20. And I have seen that across multiple game worlds because I've generated a couple of different ones via random gen, and while all of that stuff goes just nicely, and I have nothing but good things to say about that, overall performance, I mean, on a one-to-one comparison, same settings in Alpha 20 as in Alpha 21, definitely seems worse. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but it appears that I am the outlier in that, so it must mean that it's something in my settings. That's the only logical conclusion I can come to. And I don't know, maybe no one else absolutely ridiculously cranks the settings like I do, but, sometimes you just gotta have fun with it and see what you can get away with. Let's go ahead and knock out this quest. This series, by the way, if you are just seeing this video and you missed the first one in the series and you're wondering, why is it, day 3 already? Well, technically, you missed the first one. Go back and watch it. It was the live stream I did on the Saturday of the streamers weekend, so there's a lot of content in that because it's basically a 3-hour-long video, and no, I don't have any intent at this time to break it down into smaller chunks. I am so sorry. Just, sit back, relax, and enjoy sort of thing. I mean, we covered a lot of ground in that video, too. I really feel like we did. I mean, we talked about opening cans. We talked about severing arms and legs and things. I mean, there was a lot of good conversation in there. A lot of really good stuff to like about Alpha 21 so far. And all of the thought that, water is going to be an issue. If you're playing single player, it's absolutely 100% not an issue. If you're playing multiplayer, I don't know. If you're playing multiplayer, I think maybe it could be an issue. And in that instance, you probably need to make sure that everyone is doing some looting. Because if only one person is, chances are you're not getting enough water or supporting multiple people. I mean, whether you're talking about 1 people or 2 people or 3 people or 4 that you're supporting, and I know I said that in a weird way, you're welcome, it may not be enough. So make sure that you have multiple people doing the looting, gathering, all that sort of jazz, because otherwise I think you might end up with issues. Now, that zombie, I'm pretty sure just vanished. And thankfully this is only a fetch quest, so this might not be an issue that a zombie just randomly vanished. Oh my gosh. That right there, I'm going to hate myself if I do this, but let's do it anyway. Because the flame is just an absolute slayer of frames, but it's so good. And it'll allow us to see at night, so I'm very pleased with that. So we've been getting a few magazines here, and we are slowly increasing our ability to craft stuff. And that last one just gave us, ooh, look at that, there's the whatchamahoosit mod schematic, the foregrip mod schematic. But that last one gave us the ability to do quality 2 iron tools, which, I don't know, that's kind of a big deal. Looking a little hot under the collar there, sir? Yeah. Hold on to that if you don't mind. So there is our fetch quest is right here. And then we'll just go ahead and stab the crap out of this guy. If you're not following along with everything, we have invested fairly heavily into spears. Not obscenely, but fairly heavily. Enough that we're getting pretty good use out of them, so kind of hard to complain about that, you know? I mean, if nothing else, I am a noted spear lover, and I can say that I was there using spears long before Alpha 21, so I am not a bandwagoner with the spears. I am, in fact, leading the bandwagon, which means everyone else is on the bandwagon. Not me. I'm pulling that sucker along. But that's just because, you know, Ranger mod is a thing, and I have no regrets at all about it. Speaking of Ranger mod, last I checked, it does not work at all in Alpha 21. Now, obviously, I'm going to need to update it because, well, I'd like it to continue to work, but I mean it from the standpoint of spears. I'm obviously going to have to update it because spears no longer need to be overwritten to be useful. I'm going to tell you about these two things here in inventory in just a moment, but first we need to figure out what we want to take. I still think this is your best bet, is to take these magazines, because that is what is going to move along your ability to progress in this game. The way things work now, to me, that is, hands down, the best value. So, I told you to talk about these two things. I found a random backpack on the way back after I had stopped to adjust some settings to see if I can get the game to run a little better, and it does seem to be running a little better. I mean, in fairness, I have things cranked kind of ridiculously in a way that this game does not like, so that, I don't know, whatever. I'm pretty sure those were the exact settings I have over in my Alpha 20 series that I'm still doing, by the way, because I'm playing Halmod's Last Survivors, and honestly, it's a really good mod. I really, truly enjoy it, so I'm going to continue that. It's probably going to be slow going for a little while, though, just so I can kind of address that here. Let's see, let's get rid of our Quality 2 pistol, because we no longer need that. But I do intend to continue running that one, at least for some time. I might stop once Navezgane gets a chance to update that to Alpha 21, which, by the time this video posts, that might already be a thing. I don't know. We'll see. But I do intend to continue playing it. But like I said, I might end up just flipping over to a newer version just because. I don't know. We'll kind of see. I'd really kind of hate to let that world go, though, because we've been doing a lot of really good stuff in it. So this is our quest reward. We got some electrical traps. Let's go ahead and read all of those guys. Not enough for anything. That's very interesting. Primitive bow quality 2. If we can get it up to a primitive bow quality 3, it does not look like it. That would be fantastic, but apparently that is not going to happen. We do need to eat some food here, so let's go ahead and maybe have one of those. And we can have a soup. And we can have maybe another one of those. And that should be 25, 30 food. I didn't pay attention. And then let's go ahead and queue up some drink over here. Now, I didn't really show you because we didn't start over here. But I've placed some frames down just to kind of have some frames in the way. In fact, we should probably put that one right there. And I realize that leaves no way to get in here, but we can jump, so I'm not really worried about it. Run, my friend, the chicken. Let's go knock out another quest. Hey, we're at the Hunink Family Farms. I probably don't know Hunink. I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly. My apologies, sir. I just thought we would take a moment to recognize that as we're running through here. There was no real need other than that, because, you know, we're not quite at the quest location, but I think it's really fun that we finally get to see the names of all of these locations. I really enjoy it. I think it's really cool. Just looking around here, see if there's anything we want to loot before we go in, like this shopping cart full of lovely, delicious yellow water. This guy on the left is about to start running, so let's go ahead and pay attention to him. Yeah. Oh, he just crumples when he gets hit in the leg. I love it. I love hitting him in the leg right now. I don't think that animation is an old one. I think it's a new animation. And I love the way they crumple. It's much better than so many of the other just terrible animations. We have a shotgun Messiah over here. Let's go ahead and save that as a shotgun mess. So we remember that we have that around at some point. We're not going to worry about double looting today. We don't need to do that, but we will double loot this shopping cart. So I guess technically we have now double looted. Good for us. Let's go inside. See if we can find some good frozen stuff. Frozen tuna. Yum. Yeah, I heard you guys coming in. Okay, let's be smart about this. We do have this shotgun that we made, and it's terrible, especially when your aim is garbage, but minor details that. Okay, I totally whiffed on that shot, because that should have been a kill. Let's jump over to here, and we'll reload this guy, but we're probably not going to use it anymore, because it's just awful. I'm going to go ahead and say let's use our pistola that we found in a toilet, because this one's going to be a little more of a precise weapon. Hey, I mean, it will if you actually aim with it. Minor details and all that. Hi, come back. That guy's running away. He's like, man, you are too mean. I don't know what to do with you. Alright, this guy is slowly making a hole in the door so we can just light him on fire through the door. Aiming through doors is still a little wonky, but I totally agree with the patch notes that say, use a spear when stabbing through the door. Well, they don't say when stabbing, but they do say use a spear to attack through the door. 100% agree with that. By the way, haven't forgotten, we are still collecting plastic so that we can make a dew collector, which is completely unnecessary in single-player game, but we will make one just so we can say we have one, and then promptly forget about it in all likelihood. I mean, I don't know, maybe if we have a bunch of them, then we won't forget about them, but not necessarily convinced we need to have oodles of them. Hello? How you doing? We've had so many snakes in this series already. Now let's try that again. I was going to do the fast way, but we'll just go with the slow way, that's fine. Sometimes you just forget to aim. Take that potato. I'm amazed that any of these potatoes are edible. I mean, unless the world just devolved into madness. It seems like those potatoes wouldn't really be edible, but I don't know. What do I know? Go ahead and take all the things. We'll drop some stuff in a minute when we figure out what all we don't need, because I'm 100% certain we have some crap we don't need. I do want to check these cars while we're here. I'd say we'll do it quietly, but we're holding a giant torch, so this isn't very quietly. Scrap that, take that, take that. I'm not worried about seeds. I hate farming in this game now. Farming used to be okay. It's now terrible. I hate it. And that's fine. I don't have to like it. I mean, I get why it was changed, so don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I don't enjoy it. It's not actually terrible per se. I don't know, I just don't like it, and that's fine. Look at that, another potato, that's excellent. I do kind of wonder if there's anything up here, I guess not. Oftentimes there is stuff hidden up in the ceiling. Doesn't look like it. Some of the POIs have been redone, many of them have been redone. So they're not necessarily the exact same POI you used to know from previous versions. Which, that's fun. I like that. That keeps things interesting. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Actually, you know what? Here, hold on. Let's see. Are these... the truck we can now search. I don't think we could search it before. So when the POI reset, we got some money out of it. Excellent. And then this guy... I love the new vehicles, by the way, too. I love, love, love the diversity of vehicles. It is such a good little thing. Like, it's one of those small things that makes a huge difference, I think. I mean, it's kind of hard to... It's kind of hard to express how much the little things like that matter when you're talking about making a game polished and presentable and ready for, you know, final real consumption. All that sort of stuff. Like, this is the final version of the game. Is the public ready for it? Is it good enough? All those things. Those are the little things that really, in the long run, pay off. And it's not easy to do all those little things. And, you know, it's tough. It can be. It can be really tough, but it makes the game so much better if you're able to take the time and do it. The art team, man, they have really, really done a good job with this version of the game. It's just, it's so good. It really is. Okay, we'll take all the things. There's going to be a box right here. And we'll have some stuff on the roof and maybe a bag right up on that ledge, I forget. Oh, look at that. We got some antibiotics. I mean, even the new purses look really good. Like, such a kind of throwaway thing almost. I mean, it's not, because it's literally just telling you about all how these little things matter, but it is. It's just good. Sir, I'd really prefer if you stop chasing me. We've definitely got some Zeds nearby that are trying to give us some hassle here. Okay, I was trying to get out of that menu. I was doing a bad job of it. Not quite sure how she ended up here, but that's okay. We've got so many of these bandages now. Like, it's seriously not even an issue. I don't know where she came from. She had to have jumped up here. Because there wasn't anywhere for her to appear from, unless she was, like, just right here and we couldn't see her. I don't know. That feels a little weird to me. Let's go ahead and use this guy. We've got extra sewing kits back at what is sort of becoming a base. Eventually it will be. Ooh, look at that. Shotguns. Targets with full health take 20% more damage. That's exciting to me. I do like that one a lot. That's a really good one. We should be able to drop down without any issue here, but I'd kind of like to find an awning or something. So let's go ahead and get back to the base type thing. I'm going to switch to something a little stealthier than fire. Back at what is slowly turning into a makeshift base, I added another layer of frames that are all, yes, very much crap frames. We can all agree on that. You know what? You're going to need more than 5 minutes, so goodness, maybe we'll just put most all of the metal in there. We don't need much of it just lying around in general, so we'll do that. That way we can start getting a move on with forged iron, because we're going to want to make a wrench here very soon. Now, I think we technically have what we need to do that. I think we have... Oh, maybe we don't. Maybe we only have forged steel. I thought we had some forged iron somewhere. I guess not, because it would be right here in this box. So, yeah, we're going to need to do that so that we can basically start moving on to the stuff that we're going to have to and want to make. So, just taking a look at what we have here as various options. It's interesting that we are at the point of the tools that we're basically into the iron stuff, but most everything else, maybe food aside, we're not very far along. I mean, we have a lot of options here for food, but the problem is we don't have a grill. So maybe if we made a grill, can we, I forget, I think you can still make a grill, right? You can do one out of the forge or something like that. Is that right? Can we do that right now? Because that would actually open up a lot of options for us if we could. Cooking grill. Yes, please. By all means. Let's get ourselves a grill going. And then at some point we're going to need an anvil. And I forget, can we make those guys? We cannot yet. So we need much more workstation skill. And that's going to be a minute. And that's where we start getting into the progression of how the game now operates. And it is a little bit different. I mean, it definitely plays differently. And so far, I'm okay with it. It's a little... like, there's part of me that's maybe struggling a little overall with the idea, because I'm so used to picking and choosing what I want in this game that I think it's going to be hard for some folks, and I'm including myself in that, just to be clear, getting used to not picking and choosing where you advance your various crafting etc. skills. Like instead, it's basically whatever random things you happen to come up with. And that's kind of tough, honestly. That's kind of tough when that is not the way the game has played for so long. Doing some quick math. So we got 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we need more. There we go. That'll be enough time. That'll be more than enough. So I don't know. I mean, overall, I'm okay with how we're progressing. Again, going back to where we are with skills and stuff. Yeah, these guys are not moving very, very quickly, but I don't know. That doesn't matter as much in the early game. Like bows, that's the one that matters to me. Or maybe not sledgehammer so much, but spears. This would be a really good one if we could find a spear magazine. And then medical is obviously a really good one. And in some ways, this has worked out really well for us because we have so many of the first aid bandages. I don't usually spend the point on anything under the medical line of skills, and yet here we are. We can take advantage of that. So there is a lot of good to be said. We're just, maybe not quite there yet on everything, but we're getting there. I think with enough time to find stuff, we'll be in an okay place. Like, really, we'll be in an okay place. Not bad at all. Right now, I'm going to call this one good. I'm going to probably go gather some wood, I guess, so we can upgrade these walls and maybe have a door and possibly even, I know this is going to be crazy, but just bear with me, a ceiling. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. That tree right there, you're first on my list. Catch you in the next one. Till then, thanks for watching. See you later.